Hey, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
We are psyched.
The truth is on hiatus.
Yeah.
But we are not.
Not at all.
No, more like I hate us.
What?
Just kidding.
We don't get a break.
No, we don't get a break. And you know what? We have some wonderful content to fill that void on our X-Files.
This is a busy month. There's just stuff coming out like every few days.
Stuff is coming out all the time for
me. We had the video game on Friday. I know where you're going. I'm trying to avoid it.
Okay. Anyways, this is awesome. We have a new album from David Duchovny, a sophomore album.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Sophomore,
not soft.
Sophomore.
More soft is David Duchovny's hands. The album is sophomore.
Do you have soft hands?
He's very soft hands.
Okay. Anyways, you were supposed to take your glasses off for this. But that's okay, you can leave them on. Yay! So we can see his beautiful, pretty eyes with
very
beautiful eyelashes and their color blue of the ocean. Anyways, they're real. And so are the eyelashes.
My eyes are real.
I wish I had those eyelashes. Anyways, this is an awesome album. It's actually, in my opinion, and I like Hell or High Water, this is like 10 times better than Hell or High Water.
Well, it's a little more rock. It's a little more modern. It's a little more, like, I really loved Hell or High Water. It had a chill quality. A lot of the songs, though, by the time you've heard a few live concerts, it's almost like, oh, you really want Unsaid Undone to like, oh, I need that live version. Like, ooh, some of those songs, Let It Rain by the time.
Rock it out.
Yeah, and it also, they've been working on the songs for 2 years, and plus, you know, it's, or maybe more than that, since they originally recorded the original album, by the time they got it to Cutting Room, by the time we got it to the East Coast tour, the West Coast tour this past, well, that was almost a year ago now, right? Was that that was last February?
That was a year ago.
So that was a year ago, and just everything's on another level.
They started playing some of these songs. We heard Stranger in the Sacred Heart. We heard, we've been hearing Every Third Thought since the fall of 2015. They played that at the Ardmore concert.
That's right.
And that was the first time we heard it, and I got really excited. Or maybe they didn't. I'm sorry. I think they played it at Webster Hall too, but I'm not sure. I think they may have, but I don't remember. But I know we heard it.
Should we go song by song, or do you want to like do some overall thoughts?
We've been hearing that song in concert forever, so I've been waiting for that song for a long time.
So there's a lot to talk about. I would say, like, overall,
we're looking at the Spotify playlist.
Spotify, Half-Life, of course. If you follow me at all on Twitter and other places, I'm in love with this song. It's been
on a constant loop out of his mouth for 2 weeks.
I sing it. That's like the song that keeps popping in my head.
And popping out of his mouth.
I don't know if it's my favorite song on the album, but it's the song that just keeps popping in my head.
And popping out of his mouth.
The way the Rain song did.
The Rain song, I mean,
people
I don't know.
Just keep
that
song was always in my head
out of his
for the
mouth
last
for
3 years.
2 years.
Yeah, almost 3.
I'm so glad something new is popping out.
So you got something new.
Things pop out.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. We're going to try and keep this entertaining and funny for you, because a lot of you guys are used to us talking about X-Files.
Right.
And we want you to learn about this awesome music.
And there's a lot of great songs. So just a quick...
we're not going to use our squeaky voices for this.
No. This is us.
Respect David way too much for that.
This is us. It's so popular, so we're going to stay.
Yeah, we want to be serious.
Just a couple quick thoughts. Strangers in the Sacred Heart might be the best song on the album. I'm not saying it's my favorite song. It might be the best song on the album. There's just so much really cool stuff going on. Every Third Thought, just by comparison with all the other songs.
These or what?
Well, no, just quick thoughts.
Let's go through.
You want to go song by song? Let's go song by song.
We don't have to listen to the whole thing, but I just want to like maybe listen to a little bit. You guys can listen with us.
Cool.
Let us know what you think. Leave a comment below.
Let's go song by song.
So we start off with Half-Life. He's been doing this song everywhere, on like a couple like streaming appearances, TV appearances, and he's been doing half the song.
Have we heard this before San Diego? I don't think so.
I hadn't, no.
I think that's the first time we heard it, right? And I think the very first night we heard it, we're like, because I think that night we got Roman Coin too.
Yeah.
And then we got Strangers.
Yeah, we had
heard Stranger once before, but
we had heard that
Stranger, and then Every Third Thought, and a couple songs, Someone Else's Girl, we've heard it many, many times.
Yeah, we heard that in Europe, Luxembourg.
Yeah, Stay on the Train, we've heard since like way back when.
I loved Someone Else's Girl.
Great song, yeah. Let's just go song by song, and we'll talk about it.
Oops, I didn't start at the beginning. I started halfway through Half-Life.
very little like mini 3000.
Yes.
Start, you know,
yeah.
it starts the same album.
Guitar.
Yeah, a little pad. I don't know, feedback
like
thing.
Pull the string.
A little whammy bar, a little feedback. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't play guitar.
I don't know the guitar lingo so much, especially like the studio lingo.
Take it to the fifth.
Take it to the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
I've been taking it down to the fifth when I record.
Okay, let's just talk about this beat percussion here.
Yeah, that driving. Why do we look like we're fisting something?
Okay, this we're not gonna be able to do this. Okay, I'm gonna stop this for 1 second. Can I just say, when the first time when we heard this at the listening party, like when I heard David's voice sounding this clear, this like, and I will say this constructively, David was extremely throaty on the first album, Hell or High Water. Like his voice, it sounded like he was trying to manipulate it a little bit, and this is what people do when you first start singing: is you try to sound like other singers.
Right.
You don't really. You have to kind of strip all that away to find your own voice.
Right.
But that's initially how you will learn to sing, by like emulating other singers.
Right.
And impersonating. That's how I learned. I was like, well, this girl's singing really well. Oh my gosh, I sound like her. They're like, no, you sound like you. And I'm like, you're right, I sound like me. And then I had to go through this whole thing with voice. So when I first heard his voice on this, I was like, whoa, completely blown away by that.
Yeah, I think the same. I think, by second, third line in, I'm like, wow, this is... And then, going a little bit in, where he starts doing a little moving around.
Yeah,
it's like,
his voice, it's very clear, and it sounds like David Duchovny. It doesn't sound like David Duchovny trying to do Dylan or, because I kind of got that impression a little bit with Hell or High Water.
And his vocal instrument is serving the songs he's writing 10 times better.
Yeah.
And it's always been, from my review from the first album, he wasn't a singer. He's a singer. He's a songwriter
who could sing and carry it too.
That's more like putting some notes to some poems, and with a kick-ass band behind him. And now he's more of a front man for a band. It's less of a David Duchovny. Yeah. Oh, it's really great. Okay. And but I'm on the same page with you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we can't do this the whole thing. We're gonna have an hour-long webcast.
Through thick and thin, rain or shine.
More rain. To be listening.
I'm sorry.
You are closer to me than who I used to be. How can half of everything?
Oh, stop!
I'm lip syncing.
All right.
Feel like less than nothing.
Please stop it for a second.
Okay.
So.
We're never gonna get through this.
I know, but I'll make it quick. I hear these words, I love this song, but I don't know what the song is about. I'm not putting words in David's head or mouth, you know what I mean? I'm not interpreting it, but I keep hearing a song about divorce, more than just end of a relationship, because I misheard those words. How can half of everything feel like less than nothing?
Right.
I thought it was, I got half of everything.
Right.
I got half of everything. It feels like nothing. It's like when you get half of everything in a divorce, but all of a sudden not having all time with kids or your house or whatever, had that kind of feel. And it's like this. It's this awesome. It's this minor chord. But it's very kind of heartbreaking kind of song.
A lot of his songs are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're all go on Elton John's sad songs say so much list.
To smile.
Yeah, and you're rocking out, but sad.
I smiled to hide my tears.
Yeah, all right, you can play. I just have to think. I misread those words, but they still kind of have a similar meaning. It really is, that unconditional love that it doesn't always last forever. It lasts forever, and if nothing else, it means you have to work harder because unconditional love doesn't last forever. It's the poetry of this song, sometimes can get lost because you're rocking out.
There's the science in it too.
The beautiful, the science and the, there is a symmetry and there's a science to it. Time, it's powerful.
Afraid to open my eyes.
Sounds voice sounds fairly nice.
I love that. I know the guitar.
Here's the chorus.
I'm not saying stop.
The harmonies here.
Only fossilized hearts can break. Every piece is indivisible.
This is where I pull it down to the... Dum, 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 dum.
Love, freedom, division got crossed. Codified two petitions that cost. You exercised apparitions and I got lost.
That's some good rhymes there, David.
Yeah, so
those big words are what really hooks me into songs. Because
there's a lot of big words.
Hell or High Water has a lot of really simple words, which I like too. But I'm obviously have an emo obsession. So in the emo songs, it's literally just like if you look up a bunch of SAT words, you could just go through and it'll just see like, oh, let's just throw them together and put them on in an emo song. But I like those rhymes.
He was talking about this song with a lot of those big words, and it reminds me, this is such a random thing if you don't know the world, but Deflator Mouse, the operetta.
The opera?
The operetta Deflator Mouse. It's technically an operetta, I think.
What's the really famous song from that?
Oh, it's the waltz. It's really famous.
How does it go? Because people would know it. I'm trying to remember it right now, but I know there's like one really famous one.
I think that's it. I don't remember.
You hear it a lot in movies and stuff.
Well, there's a song that the character I played when I sang it, and I actually never got to the performance, so I don't remember it. But there's a song where the doctor sings, and in German, and everything goes, it's just repeating the same, and in the English, it's all T-I-O-N and S-I-O-N words, like execution,
he did mention that,
yeah. It's very similar, the wording.
Listen, and then I'm gonna make the incision, and then I wanna make a decision.
Right. Half Lives Away,
sorry, that's just me
exponentially, and I think it's Love. Is it Love's Field of Vision or Love's Field of Vision got crossed? I'm singing this left and right, and these are the two lines I'm not 100% sure. Gotta find two partitions petitions.
Gotta buy that lyric book.
Gotta find
lyric book.
Yeah, but that's only the one song, isn't it? Is it all the songs?
I don't know.
I thought it was just Every Third Thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like remember he had the old scribbled every straight. No, he had scribbled strangers.
We have that. They gave that on a pledge update.
Yeah, I think on this pledge update it's a just a handwritten. With
oh my god,
scribble.
we're like 13 minutes in and we've only done one song.
Well, we had a lot to talk about, so
right,
let it go. Anyway, I love this song. Every Third Thought.
Yeah. Oh well, actually, we didn't get to the tempo change in Half Light.
Well, you have the little bridge.
It's not really. Yeah, it changes a little.
And they usually don't do it on TV because it's a little slow for TV, but it's cool. It kind of brings it down, and then he brings it all the way down. Unconditional love decays. You know, just really quiet, like they do in everything in Hell or High Water, two other things. And then it comes out, big finish. Da, da. You know, in addition to that pound 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, that very simple lilting. Da 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 da. And again, I like to hear it. I almost hear the song from once. Da 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 da. I want to do like a mashup, right? It's very similar. And similar chords, very similar chords.
I don't know that song.
Take this empty boat, you still got time.
Let's go.
Anyway, but and then he just rocks out. It's such a very simple melody, but I think that's why this song has potential on radio, because a lot of times it's got a very simple hook, but it is a hook. You know, it grabs you. Go ahead.
You know what I think we should do is we should get to Someone Else's Girl, and then we should wrap this and then do a second video.
We could do a two-parter.
We could do
a two-parter.
Oh my god. Alright, so we're going to go to Every Third Thought now because we're going to skip the bridge.
So we are saying on this one, we don't have to listen so much of each song. This is the one song that's so far of the 6 that we know from live concerts first.
And this one we've been hearing forever.
And I don't know that I don't like this as much, but I think at the live effect of this song so far, and I'm curious what they do on the tour with it now, would be more like this, you know. But it's almost like the difference between Unsaid Undone on the album and live. The live version just has a rockier feel. This one's a little more artistic.
Up front and we don't hear him as well, and we hear more of the percussion.
Maybe.
His monitors are up front.
But I think it's just a general. And I've sat in the back too from Vancouver. It rocked. This song just freaking rocks live.
This is a good song live.
Yeah.
I like the studio version, but it's definitely, it seems like the tempo is a little bit slower.
Right. And I was also pushing for this to be the title track.
I know, but he didn't want that.
He wanted Stranger.
Yeah.
I got my way.
Got your way.
Who's got the real power here?
Well, Frasier has said it's going to be every third thought. He's spoken.
Brad went with me. Now the good thing is you do hear the words more, and I don't know if I ever heard the words before.
Are you going to talk when he's singing?
Well, we're talking about the album.
All right, let's stop a
second.
second. Okay, so what are we going to say?
Well, I was saying, because it's more exposed and open, they are beautiful words. Like it's a great poem.
You can hear them a little better.
So you can hear it, yeah. Live. I mean, live, I never knew what the song was. I'm just like, every third thought.
Yeah, I don't even know what he was saying during the chorus.
Yeah. I had no clue what the words are to the song.
Didn't know. Now I know.
Yeah, so in that sense, from an album standpoint, I'm glad I get to hear the words because they are. I mean, nothing against David. David is a writer first, right? David is a poet, and he just has beautiful words to say. So in that sense, it's better. I'll shut up.
You want to hear him?
Let's hear him. I want to hear him. Oh, I thought you were telling me we want to hear him now, like we don't want to hear me talk.
Well, that too.
And I love that guitar hook. Ooh.
Every thought on what was once green and new. All these thoughts like colors fade to blue. Every second thought feels borrowed and untrue. Every third thought on you.
Being creepy, stop.
I'm being cheesy.
Let's get to the chorus.
Every third thought on you.
There's the cowbell. Carrie Lee.
No, she did cowbell in track 11.
Why must my thoughts turn into you? Now as the seasons change, why do I remain the same?
Love those harmonies.
Why do I remain the same?
A lot of notes there.
Why do
So, I automatically slip into the harmony on these songs because it's in my range. And when I sing a lot at the concerts, I have to sing the harmonies because the songs aren't.
Yeah.
The harmonies I can sing in my range. The the melody I can't. It's too low for me, or it's too high and it sounds really bad. So I apologize right now for all of the concert videos that people have had to listen to me because my mouth is right next to the mic when I'm filming of the camera. But in the concert, when I'm filming this shit, I don't hear myself. I can't even hear myself when I'm singing. So ultimately, you're gonna get some harmony that's bad when you hear me. But I this isn't about me.
But I'll tell you what.
I'm just saying, I automatically slip into the harmony because it's an easier range for me to sing in. And so what I wanted to say about this, and I completely forgot.
Well, I'll say, while you're thinking of the harmonies, it's very jazzy harmonies. There's a lot of notes. There's, minor 7 chords, major 7 chords. I mean, there's 4-part harmonies. There's like at least 4 different vocal notes at times. Very thick. A lot of times they what they call triads, like they get threes, like a C, a E, and a G, and a C chord. But there's a lot of like seconds and fourths. And again, this is a very jazzy, modern classical jazzy jargon, but it's very thick. It's a very thick sound. It's light, like they're just kind of lilting it out there, but it's close. You know what I mean? It's a very thick sound, which is absolutely very difficult to do.
Abstract.
It is kicking it up a notch, I think, for the guys as well as David. It is a tough thing to sing like that. And I mean, this is like classical choir stuff. That's really, or jazz choir, like really top-notch professional jazz choir with this rock band going on, so I think you're having, that's why I love this song so much. There's just so much wonderful stuff going on. And the live version, I only really appreciated it at the end where they start kind of
hear it better,
doing a few.
In the studio version.
Yeah, you hear every note.
So kudos to everyone.
Yeah, I heard Mitchell did a lot of that mixing. I mean, kudos to everybody. Yeah,
it sounds really
Colin
good.
And Pat, Mitchell, Sebastian with the percussion tracks. really, really, really doing yeoman's work here.
Okay, so now we have to move on to the ballad. So I'm not a ballad person, but we're going to listen to this anyway.
You're a good person.
I know, but I'm not a ballad person.
Oh, ballad.
Did I say bad?
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
The joke went over. I missed that.
It was not a good one. This is pretty. This is very exposed. Well, not as exposed as Spiral.
If you come back to me again,
it's a little more country-ish.
Make the blue sky rain. I'll make it snow in mid-July. Well, maybe I can't, but I'll try. If you come back to me again,
I like the drums there.
Midnight shine. I'll slap the cuffs on the
a little bit more throaty in this song.
Yeah.
It's hard because it's so exposed. This is a hard song to do.
Maybe I can't.
This is another song. I always say this about Half-Life on some level, but you could see this being a soundtrack song.
Right.
For a show.
Yeah.
Movie.
Is that Colin and Harmony?
It's like little Beatles here. You know
yeah.
What I mean? There's a lot of George Harrison in this album, I think.
That's a pretty sound.
Yeah. Like a little late 60s psychedelic ballad, you know. You can see some lava lamps. You know, it's like, hey, chill, man.
Walt's getting high and tripping on acid.
I'm high on the cup.
So the hard part of pop and rock is, like, for me, I can't do it because I think I got ruined by classical training. But I could do it before I was classically trained. Now I can't. At this point, I don't know how to sing it because to sing the way I was trained to do, it's like I have to push it out or pull it back where it's so exposed. So like it's kind of hard to find that that medium, I guess.
Well, I think
you gotta find the point where you have to pull it back.
Yeah.
But then you don't want to pull it too back because then you're throaty.
You can't finesse it.
And then you got to push it out.
Yeah.
You still have to support and push it out. So it's really, really tough song to sing.
Well, I think when you go up a certain level, and I'm the same way. If I sing in a certain range, it's going to sound like opera.
That's
you know? It's
going
to sound like opera unless I growl it. If I can get really heavy and bluesy and growl it,
even for people who aren't classically trained, I'm saying it's hard because you need to find. You don't want to. You want to push it. You have to push it. You have to support it, and you're going to get it out. But you also don't want to push it too hard because it's going to sound too pushed. And then you want to pull back because if you're unsupported, it's not pushed out enough. You have to find the right point about it. So it's just really hard.
But then the flip side of it,
you did a great job with it.
The problem is a lot of singers.
Probably why it's a little throaty there, but I mean it's a style and it works.
But you can be throaty in this style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're on pitch.
Well, you can be throaty in this style, but essentially if you go out and you sing throaty every night, you're going to lose your voice.
Well, that's the problem. The problem is when you're not classically trained is you can't do a show every night.
No.
You don't know how to, you don't have the endurance built up. So it's a catch-22. This happens on Broadway a lot.
Oh, I know.
You have people that are not trained the old way. They got great voices, but they can't do 8 shows a week. Yeah. They're lucky to do 5 in some cases.
Well, you got to be doing it. You can't be doing it in your throat at all when you're doing that stuff. I mean, you can, but you might lose your voice.
And if you do it, you have to learn how to warm down. There are people that have lost
their voices doing this.
A
lot of artists have gone on tour, and they have to cancel their tours.
Well, look at Julie Andrews, some of the best singers of all time.
Yeah, they
got nodes, you know, and then they really screwed her up.
But I do think this is a great song, and you know,
play the end though. There's I think it's the song. Cut, kitty, cut. Never die. This part.
Yeah.
So,
I love this part.
I didn't like this at first.
Oh, I love this.
Until I heard the words.
I love this.
Oh, this has, who's singing on this? Is that Hannah?
Who's singing on this?
There's definitely some girls in there on this one.
Well, we have, actually on my website.
Why are you pulling that up? My point being, when I first heard it, I'm like, oh my God, it's going on and on and on and on. But until I really heard the words, I listened to the words better. And like, oh, they're repeating it. It makes a lot more sense once you realize what the words are. If you're not,
I embedded all these
you're right,
tweets.
you know what I mean?
Embedded all these really nice tweets.
You got the cast list.
Positive comments put out there in the world. Some positive energy out here. This has actually everyone listed. This was on the SoundCloud page.
Oh, is this by track?
No, but it says like all the people.
Oh, additional musicians.
That's where I found out Carrie Lee did cowbell. Kalina Hutchins harmonica. Vocals.
Oh, there's clarinet on this.
Well, yeah.
Tamsin Wilson.
There's a trumpet and clarinet.
Mm-hmm.
Vocal, Tamsin Wilson.
Interesting. Omnichord. What else? So we got clarinet on this. We got vocals on this.
String on.
Yeah, it's interesting. You get more instruments on this album. There's more, and again, I kind of like joking. I'm brain farting now.
At least you're brain farting and not really farting.
No, the guy who came in later, Beatles, Phil Spector, has like a Phil Spector treatment to it, in a good way. Phil Spector later got into trouble with things, right? But Phil Spector brought in a lot of orchestra, if I'm not mistaken, and a little bit of the Brian Wilson stuff.
Pop.
Huh?
That's the Baroque pop. The orchestra.
Yes and
Baroque
no.
pop or whatever.
But
that's what it is.
But they all that stuff they did in later Beatles, and actually maybe
when you bring in the strings,
it's
that's
Brian
what it's
Wilson. Well, that's what they call it now, but it's the Brian Wilson stuff that's like, hey, we got rock and roll, but rock and roll could be fantastic musical art, you know. Yeah. And that was Brian Wilson saying, I'm going to do something different. Was it pop sound or pep sounds? And then the Beatles heard that and said, oh crap, he just did us better than us. And then the Beatles came back with their later stuff and just nailed and stole everything, you know, Abbey Road, White Album.
All right, we're going to go.
I'm really going on.
We're going to go because we can't.
Well, anyway, that's the long story short.
27 minutes
I've really come around with this song.
I actually like that part the best.
Yeah. And again, when I first heard it, I'm like, oh my God, it's just on and on again. But now that, you know, I love with the album, you can really hear the words and you can hear this. There's like acting in the way he's singing. I think that's what's making the sound better too. It's like what you do in theater a little bit, musical theater.
It's exactly what you do in the. This song is your monologue. You perform a monologue.
This is
essentially that's what you should do when you go out to perform. That or you just go out and you have fun and you just have a blast.
Rock the shit out of it.
And have a great time and smile. And if you're dancing bad, smile and look like you're fun while you're doing it.
What's up, Mo?
No, stranger.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you're smiling and you can jump up and down and do whatever that you want.
If you're having fun, the audience will stick around.
The audience is having fun. That is the key to anything, but in performing. But so I just want to introduce this song. The first time I heard this, first few times we heard this, I couldn't stop laughing, and it wasn't because of the song.
That's terrible.
No, it's because of David's story. Every time he started to tell it, I was like, oh shit. See, so we tried to go to Yeah, we tried to go to Sacré-Cœur, right?
Oh, we didn't want to walk up the hill.
We didn't want to. Well, we were gonna go though.
We were thinking about it.
We were gonna go. We're sitting down eating, and someone in our group was like, "I want to go," and we're like, "Maybe, but we don't want to walk up that hill because we're freaking tired. We're in Paris all day." And we had been like walking around taking the subway, and guys, I don't know what's wrong with people in Paris, but nobody smiles, and like, it's like, I don't even know what to do, because like, even in New York, if you smile at someone at the subway, they'll give you some type of look. They'll react to it. No reaction.
We do not smile.
That sounded Russian. So, no, we didn't want to go. So we were thinking about going. But then we're like, we need a SIM card for our phones because we keep losing each other. We can't call each other. So I was like, let's go to the cell phone place across the street. So we go to the cell phone place across the street. And one person in our group that really wanted to go just takes off and goes there.
Disappears.
Doesn't tell anybody where they're going. Of course, we don't have any way of getting a hold of them because we still don't have our SIM cards. And they're like, oh, well, if you if we give you this now, it'll work in France, but it won't work in Spain. I'm like, well, that's no good because we're going to Spain tomorrow. And they're like, sorry. So we're thinking, we have no way to get a hold of this person. They're gone for like an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. We're like, they've disappeared. They've been kidnapped by some French bandits because they're not here anymore. They went to the frickin' church and left us behind.
They?
Yes.
The one person went.
Yes. The one person.
Oh, they, okay.
Not they, like Dr.
And then some of us went up looking for them.
Yeah.
And we went back to the restaurant and had chocolate mousse and cappuccino. Because she might return.
Yeah, but she didn't. She went back to the campsite.
But the point is, we had really good chocolate mousse and cappuccino.
The point is, this whole thing was such a disaster because everyone was flipping out about losing somebody.
Right.
And when he starts telling this story about the church, I'm like, oh, fuck, that's the church that we were supposed to go into. Mm-hmm. And we were going, and we lost the person, and we were going to go there. Anyways, I laughed about it, and I did listen to the song. I mean, I was listening to the song, but every time the song played, I just started thinking about what happened, and I started laughing because it was so ridiculous. Mm. I have issues with music and situations. When you attach
sense memory.
When you attach music to a memory, it starts to like bring memories, and it can be either good or bad. Mm-hmm. So let's play the song because I love the song.
It's a beautiful song.
I love the song, and now I don't think about that anymore.
And again, I think of all the songs David has written musically, this song is the most complex. And again, I don't know how much.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
The most complex musically?
Oh, I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff.
Coin is I don't know.
I'm not saying it's the most impressive musically.
Coin might be up there with it. Okay, we'll argue about that.
Okay,
later.
Okay.
Because we need to get through Mo and through someone else's girl.
Very interesting chord structure. I mean, I can't just call it out to you and tell you what it is. It's not anything normal. In a good way. It's quite unique.
In the city where my father died, I find it very hard to hide. So many days gone by, but I let it
I love this so much. His voice very chill. Sounds good.
There's a lot of layers. That's my point musically.
Sounds great, vocally.
It's me, myself, and I.
Two eyes.
Slide. I let it slide.
The tempo change. It's like two different songs.
But down at the sacred
heart. You know, from a storytelling standpoint, it's more complex musically.
Everyone plays someone else's part. The strangers in their robes pray for people they don't know. Just strangers in the sacred heart. My mind alone can't crack the
I love.
In dreams and streets
I love when a song completely changes directions and then goes back to it. Right. I love that. I absolutely love when music does that because when it comes back and picks back up again, it's like whoa.
Well, like 99% of the songs in the last 6 decades start and they might have a bridge where they have a slightly different chord structure.
Right.
But it basically is, whatever the tempo is, it's that way to the end.
Yeah.
You don't get rubato, which is where you pull it back, and you don't swell tempos. Yeah. It's just one tempo from the beginning to the end. And sometimes you get louder, sometimes it gets softer. But most songs don't even change dynamic.
What I don't like is, I hate it like a lot of the current songs on the radio. It's just the same.
But not even just current. I mean, even the songs we love from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, most of those songs don't have a lot of dynamic change.
Right.
They don't have any tempo change. Right. Very, very, very few. And you got to get into like the Pink Floyd stuff to get more sophisticated than this. You know what I mean?
That's too trippy for me.
But it's trippy. But if you pull back the drug stuff, musically, it's genius. There's just stuff. This
I'm not a Pink Floyd fan.
And I'm not saying this is Floyd, but I'm saying this is going in that direction where for especially, and Floyd are a bunch of jazz cats doing rock and roll and drugs, right? But like the band, like David's band, there are a lot of jazz and rock. You know, they're really sophisticatedly trained musicians that know this stuff. That's where I wonder, like, how much of this is David? Because there's stuff going on in this song.
Well, you have the arrangement.
And there's like 3 different songs, right? You've got the verse and the chorus, and then you get to that bridge. They're completely different songs. Or
I'm fine with that. I like that. I really like it when it's... And it's... Well, I mean, you have things like Stairway to Heaven where it progressively picks up. It starts off as this ballad, and then, like, by the end, I mean, that's a really long-ass song.
Well, that's a good example. And those songs...
it just keeps going by the end. It's a total rock jam.
It's almost like Mozart sonatas.
But this is different.
Or even Beethoven sonatas.
What?
In the sense... music structure-wise. In the sense that, like the verse and the chorus are almost like separate movements of a bigger piece. They're so different. Now, it's not like he's going into 3/4, changing tempo, meter, meter. Like it's not going from 4/4 to 3/4.
You lost me again.
4/4, or it doesn't.
You lost me on
go. It doesn't turn into a waltz. Usually,
I grew up listening to the Beethoven and the Mozart stuff.
Well, and if you just hear a Moonlight Sonata, that's just one part of a bigger piece. There's a faster, angry piece at some point. That's the pretty sad part, right? Each part it's like a movement in a bigger piece. And that's why I say I think this song is like, there's so much going on.
I do like when something completely changes and picks back up again. And
then again, when you get to the bridge, it's completely different again.
Right.
And it all works. And it just beautifully, the segues, what Colin, Pat, and everybody else is doing there. And there's a lot of instruments.
Stan and the band hard.
Yeah. There's a lot of synthesized organ in this one. I think we're getting the violin from Hannah,
Should we skip up to the bridge then?
Skip to the bridge a little bit.
This is more, we're talking so much. Look how...
Well, this song...
Sure, if that's what it's called. Oh, we passed it.
Oh, yeah. Of all the new songs, I think this chorus I learned first is... Yeah, this part... Look, there's Hannah. Right? Listen to that.
There's a lot going on.
This sounds weird. This doesn't always sound as good live. That part is tough.
It's tough vocally. It's a hard sound to sing, to maintain.
It's easy to go that, ooh.
It diphthongs.
And then it just rocks out. Pause it real quick. I think they changed the chord. I'd have to go back and listen to a video from the tour. I think they changed it. I think it used to have not enough for no one. I think the middle chord there, they actually changed it to something more funky that comes from the intro. Like there's a different, or at least maybe it's just the way they layered it. There's something different. Or again, when it's live, you don't hear all the layers, especially when you're down front.
Right.
There's something that I haven't heard before, and I'm just listening to now, actually, analyzing a little bit. And again, this is a song I really had to sit down with the piano.
Should.
To figure out the chords. A lot of times.
Over there. Go figure it out.
No. I'm saying this is going to be a tedious.
It's right there.
I can do it right now if you want to pause the video. But I'm saying it's not an easy. Most of the songs, Half-Life, I could just say, well, what's the starting chord? Because I know music enough. And just say, okay, well, that's this chord, this chord, this chord. I don't even have to play it. You know what I mean? Because it's more of
a challenge to me.
A semi-standard chord structure of sorts. But wow, this thing is all over the place in a beautiful way.
Okay, I'm gonna
stop babbling.
We're gonna go to Mo because we are now at this is a long thing. Right.
So can I say real quick, less is Mo. As a jazz player, way back when.
Jazz again.
No. I grew up playing jazz trumpet, a little bit of piano, and every teacher of jazz will tell you, because we come from a young rock world, learning jazz is like kids of rock. It's always less is more. Less is more. Lilt, pull back.
More is more. I was always told more is more.
But not in jazz. Too much in jazz becomes mud. So it's all about, appreciate the rest.
This is about overconsumption.
Yeah, exactly.
Here.
And jazz is the same thing. Less is more in general. I think, it's you want more space between the notes. You want more rhythm. You want more, nuance. And you find that. Go ahead. But that's my analogy.
You're going to talk for
I always think of that when I hear this song.
I love you. Sounds really good. It's really well produced.
Everybody always wants more. Like a kid in the candy store. Everybody always wants the cream at the top, but nobody knows when to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows when to stop.
Nice sound.
How many cars can you drive? How many lives before you feel alive? How many hearts can you break? Tell me, what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take? If less is more, what are you waiting for?
Stop it.
If less is more, what are you unhappy for? If more is less, well, goddamn, I am blessed.
So this is not my favorite song in the album because it's too chill for me.
Well, I think...
See, I'm more is more. And I don't understand the lyric. I understand overconsumption, but, maybe because I don't have all that much, I don't, give
Well, it's
me
a
more.
pretty song.
It's pretty, but it's
But, it's not... You like the angry stuff in general.
I like angry, I like high energy.
And I think this is the song that...
I can chill out to this, maybe,
Right.
but, it's almost too chill for
And
me.
I'm with you, but I think this is a great song. We like the song on tour. And then...
Yeah, I like it live.
I think...
I like the song, it just isn't my favorite.
Especially after Strangers. But it's a nice contrast to Strangers. Because this is everything I said Stranger wasn't. This is,
This is when I'm sitting in a concert and I realize my feet start to hurt.
Yeah, it's almost too chill.
It's too chill.
Yeah. And it's a
that's
beautiful
when someone
song.
starts pushing at me and saying, ah!
Although, is this the song they did as an acoustical version? Maybe I'm thinking Marble Sun. There's a couple things where Colin picked up a guitar and they did more acoustical feel in Vancouver, and I'm forgetting, but I feel like this song
the whole thing
would
was
be
more acoustical.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there are times where Colin left the piano and picked up a guitar.
Oh, right.
And really just had a couple guitars, and it really felt kind of, in a good way, kind of like hobo-y on a train, just kind of chill and real singer-songwriter kind of stuff. And I think this song is really pretty. I love on the album that has all this stuff. Again, all that stuff that, George Harrison, Beatles, and all these other guys would put in there. Really cool stuff. But I wonder, this song maybe just scaled down guitar strumming with the song, just chilling by fireside, be a great song.
I like how it sounds in the album and in concert.
It's pretty.
But I might like the album just a tad bit better, just because in the concert, like I said, if I'm standing there for too long, it's too chill.
Right.
For me to stand, I could sit and listen to this.
And again, compared to all the other songs that are so complex, it's conventional.
If I'm standing, I'm like, I don't want to stand.
Yeah.
But, of course, this is like me who goes to so many of these fucking concerts. Anyone else who doesn't go to them is probably like, yeah, I don't care if my feet hurt, whatever. I'm just, spoiled. I think maybe I have too much Mo. I have too Mo.
You like Mo.
I like too much Mo.
And that's why you like Roman Coin. Roman Coin is just a rock out.
I want Mo.
Yeah.
I don't want less.
Was it someone else's girl?
I make no apologies for that.
So can we pause this 1 second. I think you and I agree with both. This song has been fun since the first time we heard it.
It's fun.
But I think...
Fun and bouncy.
And
it sounds very happy. Even though it's not happy, it sounds happy.
I was going to say, of all the songs we've heard on tour... And this song from the first time I heard it was fun. Like,
and it's easy to pick up and learn.
Yeah.
You can learn it. Listen to it once and you learn the chorus. The chorus is so simple.
I love what they did with it on the album. Let's listen to it to be more specific.
Yeah, we gotta talk
about it. It's really kicked it up a notch.
Okay, kick it up a notch. Okay, this is good for dance.
I see the rising sun.
The voice sounds good.
She belongs to everyone, and that's fine by me. I don't care.
Like that.
When it comes to bliss, I'm a communist. The birds singing up in the trees. Don't just whisper sweet nothings to me. That's alright, I'll share. The greenest grass is always under your own ass. But then came a time I looked in her eyes. I don't hear voices, but her voice was with mine. Oh, I'm not playing, and I know it's not PC. But now that voice is saying that she...
Oh, he's got all his horns. That's what, yeah. It's almost ska.
I can feel it.
Slight bit.
Someone else's girl. La-dee-da-da.
So easy to sing.
Is he la-dee-da-da?
Yeah.
He did do that on the tour, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
How she is someone else's girl.
And it's in a good range for me.
I wish she was my woman now.
I love that.
Yeah. It's a little chromatic.
So I have to pause this and move this up to the bridge because there are some lyrics here that I would call out are funny that are not supposed to be funny. I don't give a shit. I'm clearing them out because I didn't even notice them. I love you, David. I did not notice them, but all of the fans noticed them, and they're like, "What the hell is he? Why is he singing about this shit?" I just threw the phone down because it's ridiculous.
It's like a cell phone modern version of Drop the Mic.
I just dropped my phone.
Drop the phone.
No bullets.
Okay, listen to the words here.
Baby, I'm a loaded gun, but I ain't got no bullets. Just a magazine of fun. Sorry for the timing.
Yeah, so I'm a loaded gun, but I got no bullets. What does that mean?
He's sterile?
Shooting blanks? You're laughing!
Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah!
Oh, that's what I thought you were
everybody was thinking.
Okay.
I'm like, wait, is this something? Wait, you just like spit in my face.
I'm sorry.
You may well.
I'm not shooting blanks.
Walter.
Not out of my mouth.
Okay, why is this? This is not something to brag about in a song.
After a certain age, it's great. Like, hey, we can hook up and not have kids.
Yeah.
If you don't want to have more kids, it's like, hey.
It's like too much information, really. And all of us are like, why is he singing? It's almost like give Mother Earth a facial, line and positively Madison Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Just don't go there.
Well, that's what he's saying. Don't do that. He doesn't want you to do that.
Yeah, but the analogy is gross. Pull out to Mother Nature, or pull out to other nations, give Mother Earth a facial. It's gross! It's a gross analogy. Ew. Come on.
Starts deep.
You get the cum shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. Now we're going to be demonetized. Not because of this music, because I said cum shot. But I'm sorry. So basically...
I thought you meant to say rim shot.
The cum shot is when...
No, I know what a cum shot is.
Okay.
Thank you for that education.
I did the visual. I think we're done. We've gotten to all 6 songs. We've ended on shooting blanks.
I think I'm done.
I'm so glad we did this. I'm sure they'll be thrilled with our album. Get the album. We'll do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll do the other 12 tomorrow. Because we have to go pack.
There's another 12?
Well, there's another 6.
The other 6. Okay.
Because we're almost at an hour here. Fuck.
Oh, that was funny.
We can't end on that.
Oh, I'm good. It's been fun. So, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll have part 2 for you any moment.
Bye.
Bye-bye.